thing. The president's comments come on the very same day that my next guest invited the head of the CDC to testify on Capitol Hill on the outbreak of lung illnesses associated with using vaping devices and e-cigarettes. Joining me now, Democratic Congressman Krishnamoorthi. He serves as the chairman of the Oversight Subcommittee on Economic and Consumer Policy. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. Just let's be clear to our viewers. What's our major concern about vaping? Is it these sudden, hard-to-explain lung illnesses that have cropped up, or is it the idea that kids are getting hooked on this thing across the country, or is it both?
I think it's both. This is a relatively new product. We don't have long-term studies on the health consequences, but the initial indications are not good. And as you mentioned, 20% of high schoolers are vaping and 5% of middle schoolers are vaping. My wife and I are parents of a 14, 10, and 3-year-old, so we have both a high schooler and a middle schooler in our households, and we know personally that this is an issue that causes great concern among many parents.
Let me ask you something as a lawyer. The Tobacco Master Settlement, which is, 20 years ago, tackled the idea of tobacco companies marketing things, a delivery device for nicotine, to young people. And it was pretty clear legally that we understood that to be a really bad thing. Sounds to me like companies are now marketing a delivery mechanism for nicotine to young people.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why these flavored e-cigarettes are such a cause for concern. Most children or most youth who get hooked on nicotine are using flavored e-cigarettes. So, for instance, they use mint-flavored e-cigarettes. As you know, mint is in our children's toothpaste. There's a reason for that. They get people hooked on e-cigarettes as well, and it leads to a lifetime of nicotine addiction.
Where are you on what the president has come out with today? I don't know that a lot of us expected the president to come out with what he said, but the president has decided that he thinks this is a problem. Insofar as it's useful, particularly for Congress, when the president decides something, is this helpful to you?
I think it's a step in the right direction. He specifically cited my committee's hearing back in July and testimony that showed that e-cigarettes and flavored e-cigarettes are a big problem. One other thing which came out of our testimony and our investigation is the FDA recently basically trying to prevent Juul and other companies from using a certain type of marketing which has not been approved by them and which gets more people hooked. So overall, we're very concerned. I'm glad that the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, are sending their leadership to our hearing on September 24th to explain the rash of recent mystery respiratory illnesses as well as deaths.
Congressman, good to talk to you. We have a lot to talk about on this topic. We will continue it. Congressman.